Have you ever moved into a brand new home?
I have not.
It is like the new car smell times 100.
What is the perfect bite? That mix of flavors, textures, colors, and aromas that come together in one amazing amuse-bouche. Big ideas expressed in small bites. That's our podcast, a variety of inspiring topics to make your financial goals and dreams a reality.
Brought to you by Clark County Credit Union for your weekly serving of food reviews, financial education, and life hacks that your future self will appreciate. It's the perfect bite of interesting information to start your week. Welcome to episode 63 of The Perfect Bite. I'm Crystal Price.
And I'm Shannon Hiller. Let's dig in. We love trying new dishes here at The Perfect Bite, and Michoacán is a local's favorite in the northwest part of town. Next, we'll talk about what you need to know if you're considering a new construction home. And finally, we'll share tips on how you can be more intentional with your family this summer.
Each week on The Perfect Bite, we're going to visit a locally owned Southern Nevada restaurant that we hope will become your new favorite. This week, we're sharing a longtime favorite, Michoacán. Again, like Shannon said, it's in the northwest part of town. It's not to be confused with the Lindos with a similar name. This restaurant I visited is actually called Michoacán Gourmet Mexican Restaurant. Have you ever been there?
See, I thought I had, but I've been to Lindo, Michoacán. So
yes.
Now I'm confused. But
I had the same confusion, actually. I thought for years that's where I've been going, is Lindo.
Yeah. You're like, I love that place.
But I love that place. And it's just Michoacán. So Good to know. Michoacán, this is the only location that they have in town. Michoacán is a location in Mexico. So it's a type of cuisine there, a Mexican cuisine. But I really like going to it because really on that side, there are not too many Mexican, like large locations. It's right in the heart of a lot of the shopping and restaurants on that Centennial Parkway driveway. It's located actually on Tropical though. So if you think like Walmart, Olive Garden, it's right there.
Okay. I know where that is.
Cool. I've been going there for a very long time. I've gone there for like PTA meetings with the family. It's definitely family friendly. Depending on when you go, it can be busy or it can be, relatively good just to have like a good conversation with friends. When I visited, I was actually on Cinco de Mayo, so just a couple of weeks ago.
Crazy. Why would you do that to yourself? No. Was it totally slammed?
It was busy, but we were actually really lucky and we were able to go sit down right away because they had planned for a huge celebration. They actually had a whole tab on their website dedicated to Cinco de Mayo. So they had outdoor seating. They had also planned for a big tent to be set up on their property for additional seating. The inside was full, outside was full pretty much, and they were just ready to get ready for like a big party. I went around lunchtime, so just right as all the festivities were happening, but they also planned to have like a mariachi later in the day, so they were going all out.
Yeah.
They even had a special Cinco de Mayo menu, so we could order the specials off of there, and honestly, the specials on the Cinco de Mayo menu were the same ones that they have on a regular basis. So they just fancied it up for the date.
Eat? Sounds good.
I ordered 2 enchiladas, and one of the cool things that I liked on the menu was that it had it broken down by price points. So they had an $11.95 section, a $13.95 section, and a $15.95. The enchiladas that I got were on the $13.95 menu, and I ordered the beef and the cheese. Super good. Like most places, it came with rice and beans on the side. They even had like a serving of like a salsa and guacamole if you wanted to spice things up a little bit. And as soon as we sat down, our server was super tentative and they brought us, the chips and the salsa. Also, refried beans, which you don't always get. So I enjoyed that. And I think that's one of like the most memorable things about my visit. I mean, it was Cinco de Mayo, but the service there was like top notch. The ladies that greeted us when we got in, they were very accommodating, like, oh, we're full out here, but we have seats outside. It was early enough where the weather was not like beaming hot and it was a covered outdoor area. So it was really great. When we finally were seated, they kept coming back, checking on us, but not like while we had food stuffed in our mouth or anything like that. So it was really good. I think what I'll order next time, I want to try the tamales. I saw this in a couple of the reviews and people mentioned like, oh, they're so good and they're homemade. So I will try those. My recommendation, if you do go, if the time is right, try sitting outside. It's great ambiance out there. I don't know if they always have it as decorated as it was for the Cinco de Mayo day, but it was a really nice experience. So check it out if you can. If you, our listeners, have a recommendation for a restaurant for us to try or a dish, send us a message at theperfectbite@ccculv.com. We're always open to new places. Buying a new construction home comes with a lot of perks, like building it exactly the way you want it. But there are also important factors to consider when buying a new construction home. Shannon's going to share.
Yeah. Have you ever moved into a brand new home?
I have not.
It is like the new car smell times 100. Like, I have one time, my very first house, I bought this little, pretty much like detached condo where I got to pick out everything.
That's so cool.
Pick the lot, choose the model, all of that. It was a little bit like, I hadn't had kids yet, but maybe giving birth, you have to put a lot of effort into it, time and effort, all these decisions that go up to it. And then when you get those keys, you're like, this is a builder. Like, I did this, you know? So there's just lots of factors to consider, especially budget and timing. So if you're thinking of buying a new construction home, we have a couple helpful tips to make sure that you're, you know what you're getting into.
There's a lot of new construction going up, especially in the north too. So yeah.
Aren't you always like, where are these people coming from? Like, they're leaving a house somewhere. Where are all these houses?
This is like a lot of houses.
Yes. Up in the north, there's a lot going in. And I'm sure Southwest too. That place is always booming. So number one, get your real estate agent and lender. You really need a team that fully understands your goals and your needs. And I know, at least back in the housing boom before, some of the new construction, because it was going so fast, you actually couldn't have a realtor. When I bought my house way back in like 2004 or 5.
Wow.
So they were like, nope, just come in here, sign up. It's all directly through the builder. I don't know if they're doing that anymore, but sometimes to even go see the model homes, you need to put down your real estate agent at that time.
Yes, otherwise they will not get their commission.
Yes. Yeah, but you're sort of like, I'm already picking out my house, but then someone
it's
gets
nice
the
to have a
commission.
realtor too, because sometimes I think I haven't done the new buying place, but even getting a used home,
That sounds weird.
I know, previously loved.
Yeah.
There are things that you miss, things that you don't think about, like different textures and things like that. They've seen the wear and tear, so sometimes they can give you little, advice and tips on things to maybe look into.
That's a good tip. Number 2, research the builder and the neighborhood. So some of the builders have been around for a long time, but you definitely want to check to see if they have good reviews or any pending judgments for disciplinary action. So definitely check with your state's construction contractors board and find out, like, hey, this builder is clean, they do great work, or they're in the middle of this class action lawsuit, maybe not the best fit.
Yeah.
So also check out the neighborhood by visiting the community at different times of day and talking to actual residents. That's actually how I got the house I have now. I was, Zillowing in my spare time and drove through this neighborhood, and the house I wanted to get actually that day popped up as pending. And I'm kind of driving around the neighborhood and somebody's taking the garbage out, and I'm just like, hey, how's the neighborhood? And start talking, and I would go visit. And anyway, their house had been listed but taken down for some other issues. So anyway, and I would go like drop my kids off from school, drive by, go over at night, drive
school
by.
times, that's a good one. See, what's the traffic look like?
Yes. So do your research on that. Be aware of new construction timing. Overall, the timeline for these new homes is unpredictable. Weather can slow you down, vendor delays. I know even here at the credit union, we're doing some remodeling, and if something doesn't come in crucial, like a air conditioning unit or cabinetry, you're not going to be able to move in until that stuff comes in. So just sort of expect for delays, I guess. Plan for that. Number 4, pick a great lot. So a lot of times when you're buying a new construction home, there's a portion of the procedure where it's like, okay, I get to pick my lot. You go in a certain order and kind of have a couple backups. So if that one gets claimed, I have another one that I want to pick. And some things to keep in mind when choosing the lot, view and privacy will cost more. Corner lots are exposed to more traffic, but maybe larger as well.
Yeah.
And then also, do you prefer sunsets in the backyard or a sun-filled kitchen in the morning? What direction is the house facing?
Seems like you should get like a pros and cons list.
Yeah. Also, I think about how hot will my house be depending on where it faces, and my power bill might change. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, my bedroom is so hot. We get so much direct sun in here. And, so those factors can can make a difference. And lastly, number 5, perform a home inspection. Even with new home construction, you think, oh, this should be perfect because no one's lived in it before and it's all brand new. No, that is not true. It's still recommended that the home buyer gets a home inspection, and just common issues could be, the plumbing is leaking. You have something that's not put together just right, or even like a damaged tile. I had a very random issue. The air duct that you would never see with your own eyes was dented and bent up in the attic, and it was restricting the flow of air when the AC unit was turned on. And it was like, why is this one room never cool?
Gosh. Huh.
And finally, when we went up there, which we did not do during the home inspection, we saw that when it had been installed, it was damaged and still installed. So look in the roof. Go ahead. Go up there.
Climb in the walls.
Exactly. So as with most things that we share with you, it really just does pay to do your research and plan ahead. And now it's time for a break to hear from our sponsor.
Clark County Credit Union members have received more than $73 million in bonus dividends since 2001 just for using the credit union services they need every day. Since CCCU is owned by our account holders, they earn the dividend, not shareholders. This year, we returned a $2.6 million bonus dividend to members with auto loans, credit cards, and checking accounts. Open an account today and start earning your own bonus dividend. Funds privately insured by American Share Insurance.
Next up is our Future Self segment inspired by the Happiness Project. Sometimes during the summertime, it can get so hectic that we forget to be present and appreciate who we're with, our family. So today we're going to share some tips on how to be more intentional with your family this summer. The first recommendation is to plan undistracted adventures with your kids. In a month, have a day for an outing with each child. Me and Shannon both have several children, so get it on the calendar. Make sure you are intentional with it. Give everyone their time. Take them to an ice cream date or maybe a casual date at their favorite burger joint. Little things like that go a long way. Those summertime memories. Avoid being on your phone because your child wants time with you. Okay.
And you better believe if you do it for one, you better
do it for all
because they will remember. So.
Exactly. Well, you took Sean. No.
Yeah, exactly.
The next recommendation is don't forget about your spouse. So try taking small trips with your spouse. A simple way to create some alone time with your spouse is to plan a few short getaways throughout the year. This could be as simple as planning for a movie night, doing your favorite takeout, or even going to a favorite bed and breakfast. I don't know that Nevada or Las Vegas has bed and breakfast. Do you happen to know? It sounds nice, but it sounds
I've been to one in St. George before, which is only like 2 hours north of here, but I don't think I've ever looked for one. So.
Well, even like a little trip like that's a little getaway.
Yeah.
So I would do something like that. And I know me and Rodney have done movie nights, or even like we'll do like a lunch date. So little things like that go a long way. Another thing that you could do is even call it a getaway, not a vacation, which we just did. This time is purely for relaxing and connecting. No light speed sightseeing allowed. The next recommendation is to try to have special moments with your family. At the end of each week, serve the family's favorite food and have everyone write down their weekly highs. This could be a book that you really liked, and maybe even a movie that you saw that you really enjoyed, an exciting work project, or something fun that the kids are doing with their friends. Simple acts of love bring your family together. So take a moment to express what you're looking forward to in the next week and listen to what your kids and spouse are sharing. We want to hear from you. Send us your financial questions or money topics that you'd like to learn more about. And don't forget any fun local food recommendations. Our email is theperfectbite@ccculv.com.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode brought to you by Clark County Credit Union. For additional money management tips and financial calculators, check out our website at ccculv.org. Now that was The Perfect Bite.